Welcome to the Focal Point. I think I'm just going to take this minute to welcome Sofia to the stage. Put your hands together for Sofia Talvik.
Hey, you guys. Hey, it's so great to see all of you here. Last time I played a show was on Thursday, last Thursday. Did you have a pretty horrible weather on Thursday? Yeah, I didn't have that many people in the audience. I was up in Warsaw, Kentucky. Just across the river there, Ohio River, they had a tornado touchdown, and it was like some pretty bad hail. So I'm very happy to be here and to see all of you guys. Thank you for coming out. Yeah. So I'm Sofia Talvik. I came all the way from Sweden to play for you guys today. And it's true. I thought I was going to start with a little song about where I grew up. But at first I want to just tell you guys that we're going to do 2 sets with a little break. And in the break, Jeff told you about the little cooler and stuff that you can go and get stuff. And then you can also come and talk to me, of course, and check out my merch. I grew up on the west coast of Sweden, quite a different place from St. Louis. Sweden is sort of a cold and rainy country, but we do have a really beautiful summer. We do. Last year was on a Wednesday. And so this song is a little song about where I grew up. It's called Take Me Home. Take me home to the sea, to the waves and the breeze, where the salt grinds my teeth. Take me home. You can walk but only one takes you home. Will I walk it alone? Take me home. How I loathed those great days and the salt on my face, left for dead in the waves. Memories of this place take me home. Take me home. Walking through the empty grounds of the closed down school, I still hear the sounds. They're only ghosts now in this town. Take me home. Leave me here on the shore where you found me before. I won't Thank you, guys. Thanks so much. So, yeah, Jeff was talking about the pandemic. In 2019, I had a new album come out at the end of the year, and I was super excited about the 2 big tours that I had booked in 2020 to promote my new album. And I got here in February of 2020. And so I was like down south, and I was gonna play South by Southwest, you know, the big festival in Austin. I was gonna do a bunch of fun shows. And so one of the last shows I got to do before everything shut down was in this tiny little town called Winsboro. It's kind of close to Dallas. And it's a very quaint little town, very beautiful. And it was so strange because everything felt so normal, but then you would bring out your phone and you would have all these notifications about a virus and people hoarding toilet paper. So raise your hand if you still have toilet paper that you bought in 2020. I don't see any hands. I'm pretty sure some of you do. It's okay. All right. Or maybe you just used it up. It's been 4 years. I mean, how much toilet paper can you buy, actually? I mean, well, I guess some people bought really like a lot of toilet paper. So I had some hours before that show started, and I sat down. I wanted to gather my thoughts about what was going on. And, you know, because you didn't know, it could have been the end of the world, you know? That's how it felt. You were like, what is going on? And so I wrote this little song. It's now on my new album, and it's called Meanwhile in Winsboro. Will you starve? Keep from going very far. Will you brace for the end of the world? Have you forgot all the luxury that you've got as you brace for the end of the world? Meanwhile in Winsboro, apple blossoms bloom. Spring is coming soon. Spring is coming soon. Meanwhile in Winsboro, it doesn't seem so bad. I think of all I had. I think of all I had. If this really is the end, how will you spend it, my friend? Hold up in your house till you're alone in the world. All the food you could eat till this virus is beat. Hold up in your house till you're alone in the world. Meanwhile in Winsboro, apple blossoms bloom. Spring is coming soon. Spring is coming soon. Meanwhile in Winsboro, it doesn't seem so bad. I think of all I had. I think of all I had. A million miles away from the ones I'm keeping safe. I hope that he's okay at the end of the world. The world looks just like yesterday, and yet not in every way. Will the songs all be the same at the end of the world? Meanwhile in Winsboro, apple blossoms bloom. Spring is coming soon. Spring is coming soon. doesn't seem so bad. I think of all I had. I think of all I had. Meanwhile in Winsboro, you would never think we are at the brink. We were at the brink. Meanwhile in Winsboro, we could still pretend this is not the end, not the end of the world. Thank you. So, you know, I'm touring around in a little camper. It's a Winnebago Micro Warrior from 1989. We call him Little Chief. Usually he's like in front of the venue and I'll be like, you can see him out there, but he's actually in the back now, so you can't see him. But it's a great little RV. He always breaks down at least once every tour. And we had him since 2015, and he's traveled all over the US, 48 states. And so, you know, some years ago I was on the road and I went through southern Utah, and I came to this amazing valley where the Hopi tribes had lived for thousands of years. And they had this huge mountainside that was just filled with petroglyphs, you know, and all these remnants of a great civilization. But all of a sudden this tribe had disappeared from this valley, and no one knows why or where they went. But if you ask the other tribes, they will tell you that no, they didn't disappear. They went to the center of the universe, which is sort of their nirvana or their higher state of being. And I thought that was really neat, you know. And because I am touring around in a little camper, you know, I quite often end up in Walmart. I do. They have a big parking lot and they have stuff with RV. But one thing that makes me a little sad when I shop at Walmart is that when you exit the store, there's this big wall of pictures of missing children and young adults. And most people, they just walk past that and they don't stop to look at those pictures. And I get it, you know. It's sad, it's uncomfortable. And that's why I feel like I have to go up there sometimes and look at those pictures. So I was up there one day and I was looking at them, and I started thinking about that Hopi tribe that disappeared. And I thought to myself, what if these kids and young adults, what if they didn't run away? What if they weren't abducted? What if they also went to the center of the universe? I watch those faces as I roll my groceries out, the smiling faces staring back at me. There are no traces, this is all that we have left, the smiling faces at the Walmart where we shop. Where did they go? To the center of the universe, where the legends promised them a home. Were they chosen by a higher power to ascend to someplace better than right here? We can only hope. We can only hope. She was 7, now she would be 25, and I bet she wouldn't wear those earrings now. Who would notice if they took her picture down? There's still a void that no one else can fill. Where did she go? To the center of the universe, where the legends promised her a home. Was she chosen by a higher power to ascend to someplace better than right here? We can only hope. We can only hope. He was 15 when he ran away from home. If you check it out, that's what the records say. His mom is certain that at least he would have called. She stops to watch his picture every day. faces as we roll our groceries out, but we don't notice the hope that's clinging there. Those are our children, they are all that we have left, the love and longing, the aching and despair. Where did they go? To the center of the universe, where the legends promise them a home. Were they chosen by a higher power to send to someplace better than right here? And if we look to the center of the universe, will we find the sons and daughters there? We can only hope, 'cause the alternative is way too hard to bear. Let's hope we find our sons and daughters there. Thank you guys so much. All right, this is such a great little room because I'm here and I think you can see most of me. You can see that I play the guitar, right? Yeah, and that I'm singing. Yeah. And can you see my feet? All right, so then I don't have to pretend that I have a drummer behind me somewhere. Those are just my feet stomping away. I am not quite alone on stage tonight, though. I do have my wonderful husband doing all those little effects and harmonies and stuff that you hear. This is Jonas, everyone. So this next song is unfortunately not a song about Jonas. It's a song about bad ex-boyfriends. And I had a bunch of those before I met him. But we've now been together for like, how long is it? 22 years? Oh my gosh, I'm so old. You know, I should stop saying how long we've been together. We've been together for 2 years. Anyway, you know, you can never stop, you know, making fun of the ex-boyfriends. So this song is on my Paws of a Bear album. It's called I Liked You Better. It's been a while since I heard from you. Guess I could have called, but then so could have you. At least it settles that. Heard you met a nice girl and she's pretty too. Bet she knows her Bible, so I'll pray for you. All you'd ever want. With me, same old, I'm on the road again. Making money, singing songs about my old boyfriends. So I guess that's what we'll do. I liked you better when I thought I loved you. She can count to 10, but that's it, I bet. You say she's real smart, but how can she be that if she's hanging out with you? With me, it's same old, I'm on the road again. Making money, singing songs about my old boyfriends. So I guess that's what we'll do. I liked you better when I thought I loved you. Thought you were the bomb, but I learned the hard way that balloons can be loud if you pop them, and hey, that's how this bubble burst. With me, it's same old, I'm on the road again. Making money, singing songs about my old boyfriends. So I guess that's what we'll do. I liked you better when I thought I loved you. In the unlikely event that I see you again, please don't stop the chat, 'cause I'm not your friend. Just remember what I said. With me, it's same old, I'm on the road again. Making money, singing songs about my old boyfriends. So I guess that's what we'll do. I liked you better when I thought I loved you. Yeah, I guess that's what we'll do. I liked you better when I thought I loved you. Thank you guys so much. So how many people do we have in the audience that has some sort of Scandinavian heritage? Raise a hand. Oh my God, there's like a bunch of you guys. I thought this was mostly like German territory, right? I actually live in Berlin, Germany, so that would be fine too. And I already had a request for a Swedish song even before I started. I'm like, dude, I'll play some ABBA, sure. No, I'm just kidding. So what do you say? Would you like to hear a song in Swedish? Come on, you guys. Is it only the Swedish people? So much better. All right. So like I said, I actually live in Berlin, Germany, and since for about 10 years now. Yeah. And so I do a lot of touring around Germany. That's why I live there. Not just because, the bread is great and the beer is plentiful. But so some years ago, I met this wonderful cello player in Germany, and his name is David, and he plays on some of my albums and stuff. And after doing that for a couple of years, he said to me, Sofia, we should make an album together, but you have to sing all the songs in Swedish. And I thought about it, and I was like, I guess we could do that, because I do know Swedish. And so we started writing songs together. And we put out our first album in 2020 under the name of Hansan, not Hanson, not that's another group of people, that's not us. Hansan with 2 A's, that is the Swedish word for the Hanseatic Trade Union, that was around in the 1600s. You can tell that, us people from Europe were like still living in the past a little bit. But so... We put out our debut album in 2020, and we put out a new album last year, none of which I have with me tonight, but I do have little cards over by the CDs that has the name Hansan on it, and grab one of those cards and you can go and listen to us online. And, I would just love now to say like, and here's David, and he would come out with his cello, but his wife was like, you're gonna play one song per show, like for 4 months? I don't think so. You're going to stay right here in Germany. So unfortunately, I don't have David with me, and I don't play the cello myself. So this song is going to be a cappella, but if you want to hear it with beautiful cello, grab one of those cards, right? And so this is a love song that we wrote. It's a song that the bride would sing, to her groom at the day of the wedding. It's a sort of a song that, where you're picturing your fairy tale life stretching out ahead of you. And so this song is called the Bride's Song, but of course in Swedish, brudvisa. Dimman lättar över åsarna, vittnar om ett sagoland som vi har lämnat bakom oss. Daggen faller tung på stigarna, reser gräset upp som vi har trampat ner på ängarna. Och som dagen börjar nu med varje soluppgång, står jag ny för dig och allt som väntar oss. Och för varje timme vill jag vara din, tills livet slukar oss och ingenting finns kvar. Solen målar alltid guld för oss. Vardagen blir ett magiskt land som vi kan leva trygga i. När natten faller finns jag här för dig. I livets mörka vatten är jag fyren som ska leda dig. Och som dagen börjar nu med varje soluppgång, står jag ny för dig och allt som väntar oss. Och för varje timme vill jag vara din, tills livet slukar oss och ingenting finns kvar. Timman lättar över åsarna. Thank you, guys. Yeah, do go and grab one of those cards and check us out. I wish I had some CDs with me, but we sold out. Back to reality, I guess. Back to 2020 when everything was going south. And us too. I mean, we were literally going south, heading south on the tour. And so we were, like I told you, in up there close to Dallas in Winsboro. And after that show, we had a couple of days off. And I was, of course, then also touring with my wonderful husband, but we also had our really good friend and pedal steel player, Tim Fleming, with us. And we were all like super excited about the tour, and especially the festival, it's always a lot of fun with festivals. And so after that little show, we had 2 days off before South by was going to start. So we went down to this little surf shack in Surfside, Texas that my friends own. And we're just going to relax, take a short breather before the mayhem was going to start. Those 2 days turned into a month for me and Jonas. And after about a week or so, Tim was like, yeah, this is a fun and all, but I don't think it's going to open back up. And he was like, yeah, I think I probably have to head back home to Los Angeles. So we drove him to the airport and he got on a plane. And then some weeks later, he sent me this message and he said, I'm not feeling that well. I have sort of a pressure in my chest and a hard time breathing. I think I have COVID. And, in those early days, it was so hard to know what it felt like, even how you got it. It just seemed so random. Like you felt like you were so careful, but then you got it anyway. And it was so weird. And all you really knew was the doctors, of course, they all said that if you have COVID symptoms, you need to stay at home and wait so you don't infect anyone else. And so Tim, he stayed home and he waited. Only it wasn't COVID. It was a heart attack. And that's the worst thing you can do, is to wait when that happens. So when he got to the hospital, it was too late. And I can't believe it's already been 4 years. And they say that, that time heals all wounds, but I'm not sure that's true. But they do sort of get a little not as sharp around the edges as they were 2 years ago. So mostly now I can sing this song without crying. It's on my new album and it's for Tim. It's called Broken.
There will be a hole in my heart.
But something else was broke instead. Now I can't see you anymore. I wish tomorrow I'd wake up from this nightmare we are in, and then I will call you up and ask you how you've been. There will be a hole in my heart forever. That will be the shape of you. And darling, when your heart was breaking, you were breaking my heart too. There will be a hole in my heart forever. That will be the shape of you. I hope that they have steel guitars in heaven. I know you'd play them if they do. I know you'd play them if they do. Don't you think that you can go? I'll always have a piece of you. A hole in my heart forever. That will be the shape of you. Thank you. So let me ask you, do you have speakers outside? There was just like a couple dancing outside. It kind of threw me off a little bit. I was like, what's going on here? You do? Yeah, okay. Oh, gotcha. I'm sad they didn't come in then. I guess they were scared to ruin the mood. This next song is actually also a song about Tim, but it's on a much happier note. It's about that last week that we spent in Surfside, with the sun shining, stand on our feet, drinking Corona beer, saying, fuck Corona, And then he had to go back to California, and you will learn that California is not my favorite state, and I've been to 48, so I think I have a couple to compare to, so I was actually hoping that you guys would help me sing on this song, and anytime that you hear me sing California, the song is called Oh California. So anytime you hear me sing Oh California, you just chime in and sing with me, right? Can you do that? Like 3 or 4 people will do it. What about the rest of you guys? Are you gonna sing with me? More, yay! Okay, I have to work you up here. I feel like, and you don't have a microphone. I do, so you have to be twice as loud as I am. I don't know what your team is here in St. Louis. The what? Are you on different teams? Is this going to be like a fight breaking out in the break after this? Is that? Oh, Cardinals. Okay. So imagine that you're like cheering on for the Cardinals. You'd be like super loud and be like, "Oh, California! Woo!" And so, would you do that for me? Oh, wonderful. So, what was the song called again? See, you got it already. Last time I saw you, you were sitting on the deck of a surf shack on a Texas beach. The sun in your eyes and sand on your feet. You said I should get back to California. Oh, California. I hear that they are closing down the flights, and I have people waiting for me there. I said I really don't care, you should stay a while instead of going back to California. Oh, California. I always knew that you were meant to go. I just did not expect that this soon, with so many shows left to play before going back to California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Oh, California. I told you it's not my favorite state. Too much traffic and too much pace. You said you too had grown tired of the place and wanted to move away from California. Oh, California. to that mean old town in California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Last time I saw you, you were sitting on the deck of a surf shack on a Texas beach, with sun in your eyes and sand on your feet. I wish you hadn't gone back to California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Oh, California. Oh, no. Hey, hey. Oh, no. Oh, California. You guys did great. The Cardinals are lucky to have you guys. All right. We're going to do one more song and then we're going to take a little break. And in the break, I do have CDs. And if you don't have a CD player, like me, I don't have a CD player, then I do have vinyl. And if you're like, I don't have a turntable, then I'm pretty sure you have a head. And I do make these hats, and come and try them on and find a hat that is like, you know, the one for you. And they're all unique and one of a kind. So, and you can't get them online. I don't sell them online. So come and try them on. And also, if you have any personal questions for me at all in the break, I will be more than happy to answer all of those in Swedish. So when you sat down today, you might have seen there was a little flyer on the chair, unless you were like super fast into like the venue, and I had to give them to you by hand because you were already sitting down. But the little flyer has a really pretty picture of me on the front. You can put it on your fridge if you want, and you know, just saying. But the real prize is if you flip the flyer over, there is a little QR code on the backside. And if there was one thing that was good about the pandemic, it's that we all learned how to use those ugly little suckers, you know. Before the pandemic, I was like, who uses this? This is so weird. Like, what do you do with it? But now you know. You just point your smartphone to it, like the camera, and then it will take you to a website. And so if you do that with a flyer, you'll get a free download of this next song, which is the first single from my new album that I put out last year. And I'm just gonna mention in passing that my new album, which is called Center of the Universe, was considered for a Grammy nomination. So it was the best folk album category, and Joni Mitchell won the Grammys. So I don't feel too bad. I don't feel too bad for not getting it. I mean, the competition was kind of stiff, you know. It's like I should have put this album out another year when she was not putting out albums. But this is a song that this first song was actually on the top list of folk radio, and I wrote this song in the early days when Russia invaded Ukraine. And like I told you guys, I live in Berlin, Germany. That's a 12-hour drive from the Ukraine. How far do you get if you drive 12 hours? What's the next big city? New Orleans, yeah? Denver, yeah? So imagine that there's like a big war raging in Denver or New Orleans right now. You can't even imagine that, right? That's how we feel. Like, is this happening? Like, and it's still going on. It's been going on now for a long time. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And so I sat down, I started writing this song, but it's not just a song about the Ukraine war. It's also a song about people being displaced all over the world. You know, people maybe from Syria coming to Europe, maybe people from South America coming here to the US. And it's a song about remembering that we are all one people. And there is one thing that unites us all, and that is the wish to be safe. It's easy to forget that when you live in a safe place already. But that is what all these people want. They're coming to a new country, not because they want to, you know, move here for whatever. It's because they want to feel safe. And so this song is a little song about peace, love, and understanding. I think we need a whole lot more of that in this world. Thank you. It's called Circle of Destruction. Standing at the border with a white flag in your hand, will the peace that we dreamed of ever come? There's an inherent fault in all of us, the urge to destroy is born in some. What they can't build up, they will tear down, and the circle of destruction has begun. Standing at the border with a white flag in your hand, will the peace that we dreamed of ever come? Standing at the border, waiting for the turn, for a chance of the life they've come to find. Walking through the desert, swimming through the sea, always missing everyone that's left behind. What we can't build up, we will tear down, and the circle of destruction has begun. Standing at the border, waiting for the turn, for a chance of the life they've come to find. If we can't be first, if we cannot win, there's a fear and there's a hate that grows within. Gotta find a way to not give in. Together is the only way we'll win. Standing by the roadside, waiting for a sign, will the truth that you looked for ever come? The billboards tell you one thing, but you can't make up your mind. There's an urge to deceive that's born in some. What we can't build up, we will tear down, and the circle of destruction has begun. Standing by the roadside, waiting for a sign, will the truth that you looked for ever come? If we can't be first, if we cannot win, there's a fear and there's a hate that grows within. Gotta find a way to not give in. Together is the only way we'll win. Standing at the border with a white flag in your hand, will the peace that we dreamed of ever come? Thank you, guys. Let's take a little break.
Boy, what a first set, huh? That was excellent. Yes, very good. And nice work on the sound. That's incredible. I like those effects you got in there. That's good. Yeah. Let's bring Sofia back up. Thank you.
Hey, you guys are still here. That is such a great surprise. No, I mean, not really a surprise because I did see you didn't leave in that break, but wow, okay. So I'm gonna talk about my little RV again, and this first song on the second set is a song that I actually wrote for my little RV. And people actually ask me, a lot of the time they ask me, where do you park the RV when you're not in the US? And I'm like, yeah, I usually find like a really big Walmart parking lot. And I just park little cheap there, and then I'll come back 8 months later and it's still there. No, That's not it. Of course, that's not true. I'm just lying to you guys. So we park it at friends' homes all over the U.S. And since we've been touring here, a lot since, what is it? The first time was like 2011 when we came over for the real first long tour. And so I made a lot of friends all over the U.S. and it's parked everywhere now from New Jersey to Florida to New Mexico, which is what this next song is about. And I was over in Europe and I was thinking about my little RV being parked in those cold desert nights in New Mexico. And so this song is called Desert Nights. When I was a teenager, I asked my mom, how does it feel to be so old? I was a teenager. You know what teenagers are like. And I don't think I meant to be mean or anything. I was just curious, and of course everything is old if you're a teenager, if you're not also a teenager. But so my mom was really cool about it, and she was like, yeah, I feel like I'm 20 years old. And now that I'm also older, I totally get what she meant. I also feel like I'm 20 years old, even though I'm clearly not, And then, so this song is a song about growing older. It's a song about waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror and being like, who the heck is that? But still feeling like yourself, still feeling like you're 20 years old inside. So this song is called Reflections. What can I do to make them last? The dreams I once harbored have sailed long ago. Now I'm just fighting on alone. Would you believe me if I said you still look the same as you did that day? But are we the same as we were that day? We lost our original will to play. I look in the mirror and I see a stranger's face gazing back at me. When you look at me, what do you see? What do you see? I walk on the wind now. I follow a path. Will I find a resting place at last? My skin has grown thinner, see-through at best. But I still wear my heart outside my chest. Would you believe me if I said you still look the same as you did that day? But we're not the same as we were that day. We lost our original will to play. I look in the mirror and I see a stranger's face gazing back at me. When you look at me, what do you see? What do you see? Darling, what do you see? What do you see? Thank you. So you know that song about my bad ex-boyfriends? Now I feel like I have to make it up to my husband and play a song about him. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's really wonderful. He quit his day job to go on tour with me full time. Isn't that amazing? That means I've been his boss now for about 12 years. Not just married, but I'm also his boss. And it's great because, you know, not only does he make me sound great and he adds all these little effects and stuff that makes me just like stand out, but he is also really great at fixing up little Chief when little Chief breaks down. And he got so good at doing it that he no longer goes by the name of Jonas. He is now known as White Trash MacGyver. So if you have like a problem with your car, if it's like, definitely if it's like a Toyota, come and talk to White Trash MacGyver after the show. He can sort you out. He did all different kinds of things. I'm not going to go into any details because that could take all night. But he even like once fixed our furnace with an old Coors can. If that's not White Trash MacGyver, I don't know what is. So some years ago we were on the road, and of course we were in California. And coming from Sweden, when I think about California, I think it's like a summer state where it's always sunny and warm in summer. And of course, when we were there, we got stuck in a snowstorm. And we didn't have any winter tires on Little Chief, and it was a little scary, but we made it through. And then we came to Arizona, we broke down. And so a couple of days later, we had our anniversary coming up, and of course we had a show booked on that date. And I thought to myself, you know, what should I do to like celebrate? Should I buy him a gift? Like, what would he like? You know, what do you buy for a guy? Yeah, he's very high maintenance, this guy. I don't know, do you like, is that what all guys want, diamonds? I was thinking socks, underwear, I don't know. But I came up with a really great idea. So I thought, you know, what if I write him a song? I write him a song about, like, you know, our life together and the snowstorm in California and breaking down, all those things. And I will surprise him at the show, you know, singing this song. And so I did that, you know, and I thought that was a really great idea. And you might have noticed that he's very, very focused on doing, like, you know, he's turning those knobs just right to make me sound great, and very focused on doing the sound. And so I performed the song and he didn't even notice. But now we heard it a lot of times. So many times that he's like, write me a new song, goddammit. I'm like, that's the last song. Next time I'll buy you winter tires. This song is for Jonas. It's called California Snow. You're my ball and chain, crafted for the weight. Me to the sky, you never weigh me down. 16 years ago is when I knew, even driving through the California snow, there's no place I would rather be right now than in this car with you. You're my better half, 4 aces in my hand. Wrap me in your arms, never let me go. The years keep flowing by. Oh, your love keeps flowing into me, and I can never see a life without you by my side. 16 years ago is when I knew, even driving through the California snow, there's no place I would rather be right now than in this car with you. 16 years ago is when I knew that through sunshine, through the rain, or through the cold, even broken down beside the road, even through this California snow, there's no place I would rather be right now than in this car with you. Sunshine through the rain, wrap me in your arms, never let me go. Thank you. So I have a friend who's also a singer-songwriter. Her name is Michelle Lewis. She's from Boston. And she, well, it seems like everything is revolving around California. She now lives in Los Angeles, of course. And some years ago, she was touring her way down there. And she posted this picture on Facebook when she was somewhere, like in the middle of the country. She posted this picture. And it was of a buffalo. And she wrote, "Give me a home where the buffalo roam." And I saw that and I was like, wow, that is so beautiful. And I was writing this song. And I'm like, the words, they fit so well to my song. I have to steal it. And so I did. And then, you know, after a while I started thinking, I was like, I wonder if she came up with that. So I Googled it and I found out it was Home on the Range. But you know, I'm from Europe and no one ever heard that song in Europe, so I decided to keep those words in my song anyway. They're now in my song. This song is from my Big Sky Country album. It's called Give Me a Home. You know, touring is pretty great most of the time. We had a little bit of a scare the other day. We were up in, on Thursday, we were up in Warsaw, Kentucky. And, you know, I come from Sweden where we don't have stuff like tornadoes and golf ball size hail. I'm like, you know, that is a little bit weird for me. So we were driving in there, and we on the way to our show, we said we have to stop for groceries. So we pulled into Walmart, of course, and you know, shopped for groceries for like half an hour or something like that. And then when we got up to Warsaw, there was all these little white pebbles like everywhere, and I was like, that is so strange. Like, why do they have this like stone everywhere? And we stopped, and it was hail, and I kid you not, it was like this big. And I was like, holy crap, you know? And we went into this little bar, and they were like, oh, yeah, it was just like 30 minutes ago. And we were like, wow, had we not stayed for stopped for groceries, then we would have driven right into that with the RV, and I don't know what would have happened to the roof or anything. But so, you know, touring is great most of the time, except for when you're like entering, like, I don't know, what is it called? Tornado Valley? Or what do you call this, like, stretch of land where, where you're living dangerously every day? How do you guys survive? I don't get it. We had to, like, actually that night park in a self-service car wash. Yes, because there was a tornado warning until like 4 a.m. And there was, like, you know, hail and storm, and so we were like lucky to find a car wash. We just drove in, and we're like, let's hope it's not gonna blow us away, you know, to Oz or something. But so touring is great most of the time, except when you're like scared for your life. And but sometimes, you know, you also get a little tired of touring, and you're like, oh, should I really keep doing this, or should I, you know, maybe I should just like get a normal 9-to-5 job. I could be one of those greeters in Walmart. I'd be like, hello, welcome to Walmart. And when I feel like that, you know, I try to remember something that my dad told me. And my dad is also an artist, but he's a painter. And he once said to me, you know, Sofia, it doesn't matter how many people come out to your shows. And it doesn't matter how many CDs you're selling. What matters is that you never forget the love that you have for your art. And that's what makes you an artist. So when I have a bad day, thank you. When I have a bad day, I try to remember something, you know, I try to remember what he said. I wrote this song for my dad. It's called Something Good. My father says an artist is someone who never quits. When nothing keeps her coming, he fights on with his fists. My father says a soldier is someone with an inner strength. He'll keep on going till his knees will bend. And I guess I never fell in line, and I want to quit half the time, but I know there's something good in me. There's something good in me. I feel my every failure. I feel my jealousy of everyone better. You're off than me. My father says a pilgrim sees the journey as his goal. The destination is not what will make you whole. And I guess I never fell in line, and I fail more than half the time, but I know there's something good in me. There's something good in me. And I try to do my best, and maybe I Okay, so in the break, I had this request from a gentleman in the audience who said, like, would you sing a Swedish song from your childhood? And I was gonna sing another Swedish song, and then I thought, well, this Swedish song is not from my childhood, and I started thinking, I was like, there is one that I could sing, and I've been like scrambling in my brain to kind of remember the lyrics. And so I thought it was actually, it's a pretty good choice leading into the next song. So I thought I might do that for you guys if you want to hear another song in Swedish. So this is a real old Swedish folk song. It's I don't really know how old it is, but probably like from the 1700s or maybe even older. It's a song that on the surface seems like a pretty love song. It's about meeting your lover, in the after hours, in the backcountry. And which is funny because this is actually a song that we would sing in school, for like, when you're like leaving school for summer vacation and stuff, and we would sing this song. But as I also learned after singing this song for so many years, and I think a lot of people actually don't know this, but so. The song is called Into Our Meadow, and it basically, says, hey, my lover, meet me in the meadow, where the wildflowers grow, and you say all the names of the wildflowers, but all these wildflowers is actually the recipe for ending an unwanted pregnancy. So this is what we learn when we're about 10 years old in Sweden. So ask any Swede that you meet and they will know this song. It's called Out in Our Meadow, in Swedish, Ut I vår hage. Ut I vår hage där växa blåbär, kom hjärtans fröjd. Vill du mig något så träffas vi där. Kom liljeor och akvileja, kom rosor och salvia, kom ljuva kryssmynta, kom hjärtans fröjd. Fagra små blommor de bjuda till dans, kom hjärtans fröjd. Vill du mig något så träffas vi där. Kom liljor och akvileja, kom rosor och salvia, kom ljuva kryssmynta, kom hjärtans fröjd. Fagra små blommor de bjuda till dans, kom hjärtans fröjd. Vill du så binder jag åt dig en krans. Kom liljor och akvileja, kom rosor och salvia, kom ljuva kryssmynta, kom hjärtans fröjd. Thank you. Now I gotta say thank you for actually making me do that song, because it leads so well into the next song, which is a song from my new album. And I wrote this song about 2 years ago when there was this big event that happened here in the US, and that was that your Supreme Court overturned Roe versus Wade. So you might think, she's from Sweden, why does she care about these things? And I'm just going to tell you guys that stuff like that, big decisions like these, they have ripples throughout the whole world. it doesn't just stay here. It has ripples throughout the whole world. So people in, like, you know, politicians in Europe or Asia or Africa or anywhere, they will look at the US and they'll say, oh, they did this. Maybe we could do something similar. So this is this next song is a song for all the women here tonight. It's a song about you know, loving the person next to you, and you know, respecting that person and respecting that person's beliefs, whatever they may be, you know. And I think it would be really, really sad if we were all thinking and feeling and believing in the same thing. What would we ever talk about? And I think it's so important that, you know, we have a diversity, and that, you know, I can look at you guys and say, hey, you might be a Muslim, you might be a Christian, you might be a Buddhist. I don't care. We're all the same people. So this song is especially for all the women here tonight. And it's on my new album. And I'm just going to say that if you were sitting here now thinking, you know, maybe I should buy our new album, and then you're like, I don't like this song because it doesn't resonate with what I believe, there are 9 other songs on that album. You don't have to listen to this one. But this song is called Too Many Churches.
Someone that she knew. Anyway, he wasn't there to hold her when that baby was due. And you can talk about salvation and what the Bible has to say, but there's too many churches and too little love in this world today. In this world today. The basement. For years that was her only world. Maybe it'll be the next Messiah, or he'll invent the atom bomb. Anyway, it's not a call that you can make for someone else's womb. And you can talk about salvation and what the Bible has to say, but there's too many churches and too little love in this world today. Too many churches and too little love in this world today. In this world today. And as I'm driving through the country, I see houses falling down, people living under bridges. There's 5 churches in that town, and you can tell I don't believe in that there is a God above. But I believe there is compassion, we are capable of love. And if you talk about salvation, about a beating heart, but you're acting out of power, tear us all apart. And you can talk about salvation and what the Bible has to say, but there's too many churches and too little love in this world today. Too many churches and too little love in this world today. Yeah, there's too many churches and too little love in this world today.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gosh, that was a much better response than I got in Panhandle, Texas. You guys are so wonderful. I have one more song for you guys tonight, and if you feel like, oh, I didn't get enough, like I want to hear all of this again, including every word that I said in between the songs. I'm playing a little house concert here in St. Louis tomorrow. You'll find the information on my website. It's not far from here. You can come and talk to me after the show, and I'll send you in the direction of the house concert. It's in the afternoon, I think, so it won't interfere with the St. Patrick's Day's concerts here. Well, okay, it's 6:30. Oh, well, you might like overlap a little bit. You can come to one of my sets and then you can come here. If you also have friends over in Columbia, Missouri, I'm playing there on Tuesday. And I am playing, you know, this is a 4-month tour with 57 concerts. So go on my, you know, you have a little flyer, go to my website and see all the shows if you have friends up the East Coast or somewhere. It's going to be the public library. Yeah, the public libraries here in the U.S. are really great, putting on great concerts. So they have a statue with flying French fries. What does that even mean? Or the French fries flying through the air somehow? Well, I think I have to go and see that. Thank you for the information. So before I end this show, I think we should all put our hands together for all the wonderful volunteers here at the Focal Point. I'm a bad person, so I didn't memorize all the names, but Jeff, Paul, all the wonderful women here, and everyone who's been working to, you know, open this venue up tonight and like inviting all of us and making this just like such a friendly place. Give it up for them. And hey, give it up for you guys for coming here. And also, just a little bit for my wonderful husband, Jonas. All right, for this last song, I was hoping that you guys would help me sing a little bit again. And this is a song that I wrote when I was on at the end of my very long first U.S. tour. And I came here in 2011, and I was on the road for a year and a half through 37 states on that tour. And so at the end, I wanted to write a song that captured kind of all the wonderful places I got to see here in the U.S., all the wonderful people I met along the way. So this song is about 2 hours long. I'm sorry about that. But, you know, it's also a song about being a little bit tired, kind of ready to go home and have a shower. Because I was also then touring in an army. And at the end of the song, I'm singing, I'm going home. I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home. And that's what you guys have to help me sing. And I'm just gonna say in beforehand, like this song is called Big Sky Country. That's Montana's slogan. But this is a song about all the Big Sky Country states. And if you hear me sing about Idaho, just know that I couldn't name this song, you know, Famous Potatoes. It would have been a really weird name for a song. But would you sing a little bit more? Yeah? What was it? The Cardinals? They're so lucky to have you guys. You know, you should, you know, go there and just sing my songs. All right, let's try it together. Let's try it and be really loud. Okay. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. I'm going home. Yeah, guys, that's it. This song is called Big Sky Country. I'm Sofia Talvik. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. Thank you so much to the Focal Point. Hope to see you next time. I've seen the Blue Ridge Mountains rise tall. I heard the San Francisco sea lions call. I left my heart in a dirty old barn. In Laramie, Wyoming, I slept in my car. And there were days when I thought this is it. I couldn't go
I sing it, it won't tell you how I feel. From the red fields of Texas with their oil below to the big sky country of Idaho, I travel the highways where memories roam of greatness and dreams, but now I'm going home. I felt the California sand between my toes. I smelled the sweetness of a Portland rose. But there ain't nothing that compares, you know, to the big sky country of Idaho. From the red fields of Texas with their oil below to the big sky country of Idaho, I travel the highways where memories roam of greatness and dreams, but now I'm going home. In the heart of Alabama, Walter kept his house exactly like it was when his mama was alive. And 30,000 miles and 400 something days has left me with an everlasting love for this place. And there were days when I thought this is it. I couldn't go forward yet, I couldn't quit. I wrote this song with my love behind the wheel, but no matter how I sing it, it will tell you how I feel. From the red fields of Texas with their oil below to the big sky country of Idaho, I travel the highways where memories roam of greatness and dreams, but now I'm going home. 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 I'm going
Thank you guys so much. You know, I'm a very easy flirt, so. You want to hear another song? All right, wonderful. I think I'm going to end this evening with one more Swedish song. And this is not really a song that we would sing in school or anything like that, but it is a really old Swedish folk song that the Swedes would sing late 1800s, early 1900s when they immigrated to America. And just like, you know, the Germans and the, you know, the Irish, and we all came here. And it was not because we wanted to pursue a career in tech. It was because we were starving in Europe, and it was the only way to survive, you know. And so even though this song is over 100 years old, I still think it's so relevant today with all the people who have to leave their homes because of war or because of famine. And it's so important for us to remember that leaving your home is something that you do not because you want to, but because you have to. So this song is called the Immigrant song, but of course in Swedish, Emigrant-visa. Nu står jag på min resa och ska fara, och Gud vet när jag kommer igen. Farväl alla gasar så rara, farväl allra käraste vän. Nog kan det vara mycket svårt ändå när du och jag, min vän, ska skiljas åt. Men det är min innerliga önskan att vi två ska ses igen. I'm packing for my journey, I am leaving, and God knows when I will return. Farewell, all sweet lads, farewell, my darling, farewell, my most dearest man. And it's so hard for us to say goodbye, my darling.